Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are riding from about 28th and E in Golden Hill to downtown on this giant road here, which is Broadway. I don't know why there's a giant middle lane. Maybe delivery drivers park in there. I'm not sure. I wonder if there's another way to accommodate multiple uses in this area. The thing is, there's no bike lane, so I'm going to cut from Broadway up to B Street where there is a bike lane, and we'll go from there. So we get up to B Street, we find ourselves in the painted bike lane, and of course there's a FedEx driver right there. I mean, there's no middle lane for them to park in, so I guess here we are. So we get back into the paint though, and this is actually a pretty useful road. A lot of people drive on it. If you were going around from South Park or from the 805 or the 94 rather, you would get off, and this is the road that most people seem to use to get to downtown. This is also the road that, as we'll see, connects to the 5 freeway and over to Pershing if you want to go to the North Park area or get to Hillcrest more easily. And there's somebody with a dog there holding his dog back, which we appreciate. The dog did not like seeing somebody on a bicycle. But this is pretty mellow. Part of me wants to just remind everybody that this is paint, so it is not protection. It's a little narrow. Most of these drivers have their wheels on the line, and so that's prime door zone if anybody opens a door. Just about all of the residents that we're passing have parking here, but still the street parking is pretty popular. A lot of people use it. I am left wondering what would happen if we put this bike lane on the inside of the parking rather than on the outside. But I feel like I have to be really far to the left on here. I feel like there's really not that much room to put a physical barrier, and flex posts are also just expensive nonsense. We have somebody parked in the bike lane here, and that's actually an MTS contractor. So for all the folks who were giving me a hard time for reporting somebody the other day, see, we just let it go. Most of the time we just let it go. But a lot of people got real salty at that video. Maybe I'll drop that link back in there in case you missed it. But we're heading towards downtown. We're a couple blocks away. We had just passed 25th, and the numbers get lower from here, and the hill also gets a stronger grade. One of the nice things about riding here is that we get momentum to take us along, but right where we start speeding up the most is where I feel like it gets the most problematic. We're going pretty fast right now. The speed limit's 25, but I'm glad that there are no stop signs in those spots, so we can just kind of keep going. But there is a stop sign coming up, because you'll see the drop we're getting into, and look, the bike lane's gone. The bike lane has disappeared. I think this is a design flaw. Where bikes are going to go faster, people driving cars are also going to go faster. We need that separated space. We need that distinctive area where each person should be using it, but it just collapses, and then we end up on this gray pavement, which is way slicker, and I'm riding the brakes down this hill. It's pretty massive. Plus, if I go too fast, I'm worried about hitting all this construction signage off to the right here. But we get through it. There's still no bike lane. Although if we look to the right over here, all these cones are protecting a bike lane that's in construction process, but there's no bike lane going under the 5 here, and that's because this is Caltrans land, and Caltrans has a difficult time actually putting in bike infrastructure. We get sharrows on the road, but that is not good enough, and it begins to bother me so much that we're on this road. A merge comes in over from Pershing right here. I don't want to be here, but I do know that there is a bike lane off to the left. This is a Monday morning. There's nobody here, so I'm going to cut over a few lanes of traffic and just make my way. I had the green light anyway. Luckily, there was nobody else there. If there was, we would have waited. It's fine. But we're going to cut down to C Street now, because C Street gets a bike lane. And I said before, Caltrans sucks at making bike lanes. They do have this bike paint extends under the freeway, but C Street didn't have a bike lane to get there. So we're left in this spot where, like, you really have to know how to bob and weave around the neighborhood, and that's not useful to anybody. We end up on this two-way cycle track, which is serving downtown and the people who go to City College, and it's excellent for all those folks. It's also excellent for anybody else who's downtown and needs to get to uptown. Once that Pershing bike lane opens up, you'll be able to take this and then cross under the 5 and take the first left. And there's not a bike lane there at the moment, there's just parking, but you know, you'll go through a little gap in the bike lane and then you'll be able to pick up the bike lane that goes up Pershing, which is excellent. So this is funny. It's a two-way cycle track, and then they want you to make all kinds of turns, but it becomes a one-way bike lane. But I'm going to try to get to this bike lane here on Park, and so I get there, and from here we're just going to drive less and ride a bike. Thanks so much.